I canceled my pre-order.
What?
This one, but I think you are going to be spending quite a bit of money on this. I can almost guarantee it. And that's the Robosin Grimlock that was leaked.
Oh.
And I don't know why Cosmos is in croc colors. It's very basic, which is good for repurposing, but bad for being a Rhinox toy.
Yeah. I wish I had it.
Well, you can.
No.
Okay. What's going on, guys? We're back with another round of news. As always, I'm James the Con.
And I'm known as Bobby the Bot.
And let's get right into it. And as always, we're starting off with the leaks. So there was 3 or so leaks that we need to talk about. I'm going to end it off big. Start off small with Studio Series Rhinox. I think it looks better than the mainline one that's coming out, but it's missing that horn on the shoulder, which I think was the coolest part of the whole figure. It kind of looks kind of blah, which is kind of a resounding similarity with all of these movie Maximals. What do you think about this, Bobby?
I like his weapon.
That is cool. I forgot to mention that. I like the hammer.
I like his weapon. I like that looks like a Cybertronian-esque Rhino. I mean, it looks a little bit more realistic than some of the other ones we've seen. So that's pretty much all I have for it, though. The colors, they are a little muted. So, but it is what it is. I would that face, the bot face, I would say is okay looking as well. I'd have to see it up close, though. I'm still not in on any of these yet. But I think this might be the one, if I was, that I would pick up, though, ironically.
I feel the same way. You know me, I like to repurpose things. This doesn't look too terribly much like Rhinox. Slap a Decepticon symbol on it and it could be somebody else. Or an Autobot symbol or something. It's very basic, which is good for repurposing, but bad for being a Rhinox toy.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me want to see how he is, and because sometimes you'll see toys and they're very good, but have nothing to do with the movie or the cartoon, and they kind of sit by themselves, and then others nail it. And so I really want to see if this character nails it. Yes.
Well, we'll have to wait until I think it's in June to figure that out, or July.
I think it's the 9th of something. I can't remember.
Well, you got to wait till the 9th of something, and then we'll let you know what we think.
Yeah.
So another leak was another studio series, and this is the Fall of Cybertron Megatron. Now, I know I've been very critical on the other Fall of Cybertron studio series, but this one looks really nice.
Wow.
I'm still probably out just due to the price. It's going to be at least $35, which is too much for this. And I'm really interested on the size. Because is this the same size as the Deluxe? Because that was a big Deluxe back in 2011. And then there would be literally no reason for this to exist because the Deluxe looks better. I guess it has a mace. So the original one didn't have it. But that fusion cannon also looks a little weird in robot mode.
It does. It almost looks like it's backwards.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That could very well be the case.
That's what it looks like to me. Considering I can't tell. I am not a fan at all. I do like the pop of red on his chest and on his arms.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. But that's pretty much all I have for this one. I never played the game, so I don't have a connection with the game. But yeah, that's pretty much. It's not bad, but it's not necessarily great to me as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks really good, but I miss the days when Hasbro would repaint Transformers and we'd get this as Bludgeon or some random tank Transformer that never got a toy since 1986. Because I think this would look really good as another character than Megatron.
Yeah.
So, but I do like it. I do like it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll see it, on the clearance bin at Target for like $15, and I'll pick it up. because that's about what it's worth to me. So this next one, I don't really have an opinion on. Like you don't have an opinion on this one, but I think you are going to be spending quite a bit of money on this. I can almost guarantee it. And that's the Robosin Grimlock that was leaked.
Oh.
So why don't you take it away, Bobby?
Yeah. I don't know the price point, but I'm 95% in on this.
What would make what is that 5%?
The price point. I mean, if it operates and does exactly like the Prime does, that would be really cool. The Prime is great. I mean, I love it. But I know one of the things that they did is, and maybe because I was an early adopter, but the price I paid for my Prime when it first came out is the price that they're selling the mini one for now. And so now that they've caught on, I don't know if this price point will be $1,000, if it will be $700 or something like that. So that's pretty much where I'm curious, because if they do like the Prime and create a mini one as well, you know, I don't know which one I would lean to.
I think we both know which one you would get, and that's the bigger one.
Go big or go home.
Exactly. So I did like where they put the power button and the charging port. I don't know where it is on Prime, but I think this is really cool that the Autobot symbol flips down and there's everything right there. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Prime's is in his grill.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
So right here is them testing it, I guess. And pause if you want to read. Here are all the notes on it. So this seems like a pretty big leak. So I wouldn't be surprised if, one, they did it on purpose to get people talking about it, which I think a lot of the Hasbro things are, or two, somebody's going to get fired.
So, well, this is Robosin though, right? This isn't.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So, well, you said Hasbro. I was just like, wait a minute.
Well, I was just talking about all the leaks that we see from Hasbro.
Yeah, okay.
There's too many of them in the final stages. I mean, it could be, but it also seems like some viral marketing type of thing.
The one thing that I am hoping for, and I mean, in that stance, he looks like he's already powered on. So, again, with the Prime, you know, you turn it off and he just goes limp. So I usually keep mine in alt mode just because it's a little bit more stable. And I know they have a stand coming out for them, and I think the stand is a couple $100. It's a charging stand, you know. So yeah, it's a lot of nickel and diming, I think. Well, I shouldn't even say nickel and diming. I should say probably like 10 to 20s. So I hope that it doesn't do that. Or you know, maybe the charging stand is included with it or something like that. But I do like Grimlock. I would have preferred, honestly, if they did maybe a Megatron or something like that, just so Prime has a character to go against. That would have been ideal for me instead of having two Autobots. Even though I am the bot, that would have been a preference, and then a third figure being Grimlock.
Yes, I would have to agree. I just think Autobots are more marketable. And if you're going to make it $1,000 toy, you need it to be marketable.
Yeah, but I mean, I would almost say...
I agree with you.
I would almost say if you're going to do that, I think Bumblebee currently
I bet you they didn't do Bumblebee because they couldn't get the Volkswagen licensing.
That makes sense.
Grimlock, you don't need no licensing unless you're going to go to the dinosaur he was modeled after. You have to go to the oil companies for that.
Yeah, makes sense.
So let's move on to something that was just announced. So the first thing I chose isn't a Transformer, and I don't even think they're made out of plastic, but I wanted to add them, and that's they got cutouts of Rise of the Beasts and Earthspark. And I don't know why, but these kill me. So this isn't all that they have. They're going to have, for Rise of the Beasts, they have Optimus Prime, Primal, Bumblebee, RC, and Scourge. And for Earthspark, they have Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, Thrash, and Twitch. And I just had to put these in here. I think these are hilarious.
So how many are you ordering?
Probably Megatron and Primal. Because why not? No, honestly, if I was to get any of them, it would just be Primal. I just think having a big monkey in the room would be cool. But they're too big. They're too big for me. But I think one of the Primes would look good in your collection right before you walk in the door. They might not be your primes, but you know they're close enough.
And that makes it a negative. I mean, I'd have to transition another room into a collection room, and I'm not ready to do that just yet.
Makes sense. So I just wanted to add these because I think they're kind of cool.
They're kind of cool though.
They're cool. I think for a kid, this would be really cool in the room.
Yeah.
So
I would have probably wanted one in my room.
Me too. I would have, you know, with Edgelord James, I'd probably want Scourge. So let's move on to Earthspark. And we got, I don't know if this was a leak or a reveal, so I just put it here. And here is Grimlock. So I actually don't mind this. I think the proportions work for Grimlock. I think the colors work for Grimlock. It has that Grimlock alt mode. I like the red that they threw in. It has Grimlock's gun. It needs a sword. Grimlock always needs a sword in my book. The only thing that I really don't like is that Build-A-Figure part that comes with it doesn't even have a knee joint. Like, what? It's just no point. But that aside, I think this is an okay Grimlock at the cheaper price point for younger, but older, if that makes sense, like 10-year-olds. I think this would be a good Grimlock for them, especially a first Grimlock.
So I thought you were going down the same path when you mentioned that leg. I agree with you. I like this Grimlock more so than the RED one we saw.
Yes.
I like this one better. So the part that's throwing me is the Build-A-Figure part. That leg looks like it's a human leg. And
so I think it builds like the bad guy, which is a human that like put Transformer pieces on him or something like that.
Okay, because
I haven't watched the show, and you know, in all honesty, I don't think I'm going to unless they put tarantulas in it, which they are. So that's swaying me a little bit. But yeah, so it's a human. You're building a human, but I don't know why he's so big. Maybe he's supposed to be. I couldn't tell.
Okay, that's my only challenge to it. But I think this is a great figure. I would have wanted this as a kid.
Yeah, me too. I don't like the yellow gun.
I don't like the yellow gun, but
I understand. But you know, for a cheap price point kids toy, this is perfectly fine in my book.
I honestly, on this figure, I like the yellow gun because the yellow on his back and alt mode breaks up all the gray. And
you're right. It does look good in alt mode. I don't like it in bot mode.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Okay.
Maybe it needs to like turn inside out and change colors or something. So something that was leaked last week was the Waspinator and Cheetor 2-pack. So we got an official images now. And this looks really good. I've got to say, I really like the colors. They did a really good job with these. Why didn't they come out with these first? Here's their bot modes. With how since I already have multiples of these figures, I'm out. But I really wish this was the deco that Hasbro went with.
I'm out as well. But it's just funny seeing Cheetor with so many spots, which we've grown to know, and the current figures not having as many spots. So, I like the wings on Buzzsaw.
Waspinator.
Sorry, I'm Buzzsaw. On Waspinator. I like that color blue in there. And it's cool. Yeah, I don't think I'll be picking them up because I already have them, but yeah.
If you don't have these molds, if I didn't have these molds, they'd be an instant buy. Like this whole line. But I have them. I have multiples. I have 3+ of both of these molds, so I'm good.
Yeah, I think I have them. Yeah.
I have four of the Waspinator mold, or 3. I have 3 of the Waspinator mold, and 4 of the Cheetor mold. Yeah, 4 of them. So I'm good.
I'm good.
It's not that good. So let's move on to some third-party figures. And MHZ, so they did the orange and red Cyclonus from Fans Toys, the KO. I think they're KOing. I think this is Magic Squares Menasor. It's either Magic Square or New Age, but I'm pretty sure it's Magic Squares. They already came out with it once, but I guess they're coming out with a new version of it with light-up eyes and stuff. I know the first one was kind of a dumpster fire, so this one's probably going to be better, I would assume.
I like the way it looks. I really like the way it looks.
The Legends collector is going to buy a new Legend.
I have 3.5 Minosaurs currently, and so yeah, I'll wait. I need to complete that half first, and MP collectors know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I think a lot of people know what you're talking about.
Just one more. Come on, guys.
So next up, we've got Pengu Toys. So this is going to be a knockoff, I'm assuming, of the Perfect Effect Leonidas. So I have the Leonidas in the traditional Nemesis colors, so not the other one. And it's a pretty good figure. I'd pick this up if they do the EVA colors again. But other than that, I'm out.
So I haven't seen this figure before.
Oh.
So
it's way too stylized for you.
But I don't know the character, so that's why I'm like, maybe I'll grab this because I don't know the character. I'm not familiar with the character. I don't have a idea of anything about the character. And so with that, I might pick it up.
Oh, I was not expecting that from you at all. You'd see it before you get it. Go look up images of Perfect Effect Leonidas. I think it's going to be a little too much for you. Just being honest, it's out there, but that's, I like that. So
okay.
So let's move on to something that completely caught me off guard, and that are these guys. So this is Dr. Wu's Turbo and Heaven's Eye. And I don't know why Cosmos is in croc colors, but I am down for it. That thing looks amazing. I wish it wasn't in a 2-pack because I do not want that Ramjet. But if they sold, if you want that Ramjet, let me know, and we could go halfsies on this because I would pick up this Cosmos in a heartbeat for those colors. It looks so cute.
He just looks so stubby and evil.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't know what it's obviously Croc, which is Action Master, so I don't know if you're familiar with that. But I don't know why Cosmos is in those colors. Let us know. If anybody out there is watching this and you know why Cosmos is in Croc colors, please, is that the SG version? I thought that was the blue, but maybe it's this. So I really want to know. And like I said, if you are interested, let me know, because I would get that figure if it was sold individually.
So we might have a Legends collector over there after all.
He won't he won't be a Legends. No. There's a difference between buying a Legend to go with Generations and buying Legends to be Legends like you do with your Omega Supremes and stuff. Big difference.
I just got it because I like the way it looks. No, honestly, I know X Transbots came out with a blue Cosmos that I grabbed, and I can't remember. I haven't looked at it in a while. I can't remember what the other the secondary color is on it. So I don't know if I don't think it's green, but I'll take a look. Yeah, I don't think
because I would have bought that. I could guarantee you.
Yeah, but the blue is what caught me. But that little evil face and chubbiness, it is kind of cute. But we'll talk.
Okay, because I don't want that Ramjet. I already have it in Generations. But if you do decide to do that, you can always get these two to go along with it. I don't know what these guys are referencing either, but I like them. I'm very jealous of the Legends collectors right now because I would buy these if they were bigger.
I would too.
Yeah.
Mustard and relish.
I couldn't call him that. That would remind me of Mortal Kombat, and he ain't no Cyrax.
I do like them.
Yeah, I think they're cool decos.
Yeah.
I wish some of the Masterpiece... I mean, I guess it's more of a risk because they're bigger figures, but I really wish some of the Masterpiece companies would do repaints like this.
Yeah, I like the yellow one, I think, more than the green.
Yeah. The green one just reminds me of Acid Storm.
Yeah, it's just
I don't like that because that's not Acid Storm.
I don't like that tint of green. I think that's what it is. It looks a little cheap.
I do like the two greens together though. Instead of using gray, they use the bright green with the dark green. I think that looks really good together.
Yeah, I think I would go with the yellow. But
well, they come in a 2-pack, so maybe we'll split that one too.
Okay.
So this next one from Doctor Who actually reminded me of you because you just purchased the masterpiece, and it is Bulkhead. So I guess they came out with Inferno and Grapple. I might have missed that somewhere, or they're coming out with this first. I can't remember, but it looks good. His face is very strange.
I can't put I can't think of what it reminds me of, the face. It's something I've seen before, or that I have a thought in my head and I can't think of it right now. But I do like the way what is that? Is that a mace on his hand? I like how it folds to the back there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's supposed to be like some type of maybe radar-ish type thing in alt mode, but I really like the XTB version. I actually like this version as well. This is really cool. If I collected Doctor Who size, I would probably grab this just because it is different.
I agree with you. I do the same thing. So moving on to some updates. There's a lot today, and we are going to start off with something that has been haunting this channel, and that is model kits. So they showed off new pictures of the YOLO Park and AMK series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. So this is going to be a line of easier to build model kits. So yeah, it looks like it has a pretty good amount of posability, even though that kneeling position looks a little forced and a little stiff. But if it's like, $20, $30 for a model kit, I wouldn't spring for it, but I know there's a lot of people that would.
I actually like the detail in it. It looks really good. In that pose where he is a little, he looks like he's like, when you go take professional pictures and they make you turn your head and you're like, they go, keep turning, and you're like, wait a minute, this does not feel good. And it's like, it's great. It's like, no, that's what he looks like right there. He's like, wait a minute, hold on, wait, I can't hold this for long. Take the picture. So. But I do like all the detail in there. That's a lot of detail in the leg, in the arm. Looks like a lot of stuff is going on, so I really do like that.
Yeah, so I think it's good for what it is.
Yeah.
Moving on to another non-transforming figure. We've got, I don't think we have any new images, but the pre-orders are now live for the 3.0 Bumblebee RC. It will be about $170. Which is about what I was expecting. It's even cheaper, but it's a smaller figure because the Optimuses go for like $300-$400. So yeah, get it if you want it.
Man, I wish I had it.
Well, you money. Can.
No, the extra money.
Okay. I'm like, you can.
Excuse me, let me clarify. Yeah. Have the extra money to go into doing statues.
Yes, so there is that, and let's move on to Hasbro, which Mark Clonis showed off new images of behind the scenes of Legacy Evolution Armada Optimus Prime. So I've got to say, I really like him kicking Menasor in the head right there. I just think that's a cool pose. So a few things that we saw with it is there's a dark blue Optimus on the faces, or paint ops on the faces to differentiate the helmet and add extra depth to the detail. So I think that's pretty cool. There are sculpted Deco Autobot badge. So that badge on his chest isn't just painted on, it's actually sculpted, which is pretty cool. It comes with a clear matrix. I don't know why they would put that as you'd think you'd want a painted matrix, but that's just me. It has articulated ab crunch, and what makes me sad is one of the things that he said was a pro to this is that it has ratcheted leg and shoulder joints. That should be standard in a figure like this. I remember getting deluxes with ratchets in them. So for them to put that as like, hey, look, we put ratchets in the figure, feels like a slap in the face to me, personally.
I know you were in on this, and the posability looks really good. I'm still out, but it makes me actually consider it a little bit more. I'm still out.
Oh, I canceled my pre-order.
What?
Yeah, think the bot mode, if they sold the individual bot mode by itself, I'd buy it. But this super mode is horrible. And the main reason, what was the deciding factor, is that picture with Hotshot. That hip skirt piece is so horribly designed that I can't get over it. I cannot get over it. It's already overpriced. It's already, I already want the little mini robot. I don't want the super mode. I don't care about that. So I'm out completely, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
I was already on the fence. I just put in a pre-order because it was Amazon. But when I saw that hip skirt and how horribly designed it was, and how, as you like to say, how I say it, it's lazy. You could have just 2 slits, keep the crotch, and have the 2 flaps, and I would be perfectly fine. I'd be in on this. There's wonky parts to it, but I get it. But that's just, and then because I don't want to have to spend a $60 on an upgrade kit to do what Hasbro should have done in the first place.
Probably will be an upgrade kit.
Yeah, and I would have bought it if I bought this figure. So I'm out. I also canceled Armada Megatron, both of those pre-orders. So it's just not worth the price. It's not worth. Armada Megatron, the size is ridiculous. It should have been a Voyager. Like, I can't get over spending $60 on a 7-inch figure. I don't care how many bells and whistles and whatever. For $60, I need an imposing figure. And 7 inches is not imposing, and nobody's saying any jokes.
That's what she did.
There we go. There's the joke. So that's where I stand. I'm really disappointed, honestly. I really wanted to get this. I really liked the original design we saw, the prototype back in God knows when. 2018. I really liked that updated design. But things aren't meant to be. Hasbro went along and screwed it up like normal.
So something that I just noticed, and I wasn't really, like I said, looking at getting this anyway, but in that alt mode, look at the windshield, and more so like the driver's side window. It looks like it's just a flap that doesn't really connect to anything or cover anything.
Oh, there's a big gap between where the windshield is. And yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, and that's the thing. If I'm going to spend $90 to $100 on this, I might as well get the Fans Hobby one.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I just don't want the Fans Hobby one because I don't like the super mode, and I think the little mode has, proportions wrong. But I know it's going to stand the test of time better than this. So I'm still waiting on the Costco colors for that thing, and then I'll pick it up. So
I would probably
come on, Fans Hobby.
I would probably pick that up.
You're going to pick that up too?
I probably would.
Yeah, and the yellow overload, give me that too. I'll pick them all up.
I don't know about that one, but yeah.
They might be.
You're pushing it. You're pushing it, James.
Oh, that's what I do. That's
baby steps.
I don't do baby steps. So let's move on to another Robeson figure, and that is their Optimus Prime. So this one does not transform. I'd like to see it transform because that would be an insane work of technology if they could get a baby figure to transform. So if you guys want Optimus Prime to walk around, here you go. It looks like the movie. Doesn't look horrible. I've seen a lot worse movie-verse Optimus Primes. But so this one's not bad. I did think that this was a really cool detail, though, with Matrix Chamber.
It is, and I wonder if it's a command where he'll open up his chest or something like that. That would be kind of cool.
That would be, yeah. So get it if you need it. So let's move on to more interesting things, and the first thing is Vector Labs Ringio. Said it right this time, and they showed off the leg mode. So. Yeah, what do you think, Bobby?
So initially I was in on this, and I still have actually I did cancel my pre-order. If we can, get a working legitimate figure, and I still don't know what the price point is, I might be in on it just as a single figure. I like the way it looks, and I like how much work they're putting into it. But they needed to get this out fast because X-Transbot's coming out, and I have a feeling that's going to look really good, even though The transformation may be horrible. MMC is coming out with, you know, a version. So it's just like, you need to get this out, because otherwise I probably will still have a lot of Devastators, but I mean, it's going to be kind of the price point is going to really be like, well, why am I going to spend that much when I can get this? And I know that they're going to complete the set. I don't necessarily know if they're going to complete the set. So the price point has to be something where I'm willing to take a risk on if they only come out with this one figure.
Yes, I agree, because they're going to be losing a lot of people. They probably already have, now that Toy World and Ocular Max have already said, yeah, we're coming out with this. With all the problems that this company has had, people are just gonna, I know I would stay away. I don't want a Masterpiece Devastator, so I'm not getting it. But I could see people saying, well, I'm just gonna go to Mastermind Creations because they're a tried and true brand who's been around since 2010. So we'll see, though. It could look amazing.
Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, that bucket looks pretty good. You know, the screws on the side are really in there to hold it together. So, but I do like it, and I like the idea of changing the wheels out. We can see the more rugged wheels on this design instead of the smooth ones we've seen in others. So I like what they're doing.
Yep. Moving on, we've got Fans Hobbies NB26 prototype. So this is already what you already have, literally in the picture. So they're going to make their Star Saber, and I'm all in. I can already tell you the price point's not going to be bad. I am 100% in. This just solidifies it. I just hope it has more of a, it has multiple handles, so I could give it to somebody that's maybe not a Fans Hobby figure. But I'm in. Yeah, I'll put in a pre-order today for this and the Dark Saber and the Energon Saber as well.
Yeah, I knew you were going to be in on this. I'm just curious about how big the figures are going to be, because it looks really, really small in his super robot mode in his hand.
Well, that's what it looked like in the original toy too. It's meant for like Hot Shot and people to hold, not for the Megatron. Megatron would hold this, and I think it looked decent.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at, because you mentioned the multiple handles. I wonder if how that's going to look.
Yeah.
But I'm in as well.
Yeah. I'm 100% in. I can't wait. This is the type of stuff I want. More mini cons. Just give me all the mini cons.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're coming.
Thank God, finally. So moving on to Toy Easies, and now they changed this name to Douglas versus a German name. They also changed the chest so it doesn't have an iron cross, so it couldn't be associated with a party that I'm not going to talk about on this, so the YouTube censors don't get it. So I honestly don't like those changes. This is supposed to be an evil bad guy, so why not make him the most evil bad guy that you can? I do really like that alt mode. The bot mode leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't like that it just has the big things on his back. But that head's really cool. It's not Transformers, but it's cool. So I would be picking this up if I didn't have such a bad experience with their other ship. It's not that cool. Especially with how expensive their stuff is. This is probably going to be $300. And I'm completely, utterly out if it's anywhere close to $150. Again, make it 100, 120, and I might get it. But it ain't worth anything more than that for my collection.
300, I'm out. I do have it pre-ordered.
Well, that's how much that one samurai ship, that one's going for $300.
Well, I found it for a little bit cheaper than that, so.
Well, you might have found it, what, 200?
I think it was 230 is what I saw.
Way too much for a figure that's not even 10 inches tall.
But the one, and I'm kind of on the fence with, I actually saw it for 180, but then there's a limited edition that comes with, effects and stuff like that, that jacks the price up $60, which I don't think the effects are worth $60. And
180 would be better. For any of these figures, I don't think they're worth that much. Like, maybe this manga that this is based off is super popular, and I've never heard about it because I'm like, the price point doesn't match. I mean, I thought this was going to be in the same line as Raiden by
Moon Studio.
Yeah, Moon Studios Raiden, because I heard they were by the same company, so I thought they were going to be like $100 a pop, which I would still be in on that combiner if they were $100 a pop, but they're too expensive for me.
Yeah, I think 120 was my ideal price point. The samurai one, I have a pre-order on it, and I know I'm contradicting because I usually don't like the samurai-ish type figures. So
I didn't even think about that.
Please comment on, but I know that might be one that I get hit with. I usually don't like the samurai figures. I just really like the way that one looks. But at 230, I think I might be out. I might be canceling my pre-order.
I have other things. I could get 2 or 3 figures, third-party figures, for that price. So that's why I'm out on these. But it looks cool. So they're also a little too complicated. So they're just not fun to pick up off the shelf and mess with, which is what I like. So
I can see that.
I find complicated transformations fun, but there's a good balance that these don't have, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's move on to some incoming things and some things that are very easy to transform in today's standards. And that's a KO Blitzwing. Will you be getting this?
I think so. And I think because my G1 Blitzwing is looking pretty bad in terms of what I consider bad. So meaning that I think it has some looseness around the legs and things. So I will be picking this up.
Good. And will you be picking up Inferno?
I have to see if I already have him. I cannot remember, and that's bad. I have to go into my G1 case and see. If not, I will be. All
right. Well, there you go. He is a G1 collector, a Masterpiece collector, and a Legends collector all in one. So let's go on to what has been recently released. And the first thing is the Earthspark Thrash. Yeah, Thrash and Megatron, I guess both were found by a TFW user, Feral Storm in Ohio. They are $15, which makes me still in for this figure.
I thought that was your receipt right there.
No. If it was my receipt, you would have known I would have already bought it. So I'm definitely still in for these at that price point. I think we saw it on TF Source for $20 and I was out. But $15, I can totally get behind picking this up, slapping a Decepticon symbol on him and calling him the goofy Decepticon guy that everybody kicks in the butt. So that's what I plan on doing with this. Will you be getting this guy? I know you were interested in it. You thought the colors were kind of cool.
I was, and that brings me back in as well. But something I don't remember seeing on him before, he has like goggles on his head.
He does have goggles on his head.
I didn't remember that initially.
I hope they come down over his eyes because I like that type of stuff. So.
Well, then you need to go ahead and get the Wheeljack.
I don't think you can move his goggles, first of all. And second of all, I don't think they're goggles. I think they're just glasses because he's the nerd.
I mean, you like those kind of things. I think you should get them. But yes.
Right, well, I will, and I'll send them to you. How's that?
I am thinking about it, picking this up. I said I'm going to sit down and watch the cartoon and see what I like. Because maybe that'll bring me in to say, you know what, I want to get this.
Maybe we should do a review show on that. Watch an episode and then discuss it. We'll see.
There we go.
Stay tuned. So another thing that was released recently is the Metagate Black Redexia. So this is their haiku. And this is really pulling me in. I can't lie. I don't have money for it right now, but I really like this thing. It looks really cool, and I could see it with a Decepticon symbol as some sort of enforcer or something like that. throw away the Baver's ties. And I really like that car mode too. But I really like that red tank, which is why I chose this picture. If anybody in here knows where to find that funky red tank, let me know. Because I can't find it. I did a search for it. That thing looks so weird and so G2 that I want it. But back to the figure at hand. I think it looks really cool. I do like the helicopter mode as well. Like we talked about, Cybertronian triple changers, I think, is a really easy way to get around the scale conflict. So, I might just have to pick it up. We'll see.
That Bugatti looks amazing. God, I love that car. That is like literally my favorite car. And so, and I know I just mentioned how I don't like the samurai idea, but that car just pulls me in. I don't know, man.
We're both on the fence.
I might have just jumped back up on the fence.
I actually left this when I was getting pictures for these things. I still have the tab open just in case. I felt like adding it to the cart because this looks so good. So,
oh man, I might have to rethink it.
Well,
today.
First Baver's figure for Bobby. Everyone, you're hearing it here first. Screen cap this. All right, so another things that just came out. We've got the KFC toys, the off-white version. This looks really good, but I watched a review on it. I think Mang Motion, shout out to them. They have some really good videos. Review of this, and I cannot get over that back kibble. The whole front of the jet is on his back, and I cannot get over it.
True. I mean, I have the first release, the other colors of both of these, and back kibble is, but that's how the G1 toy was as well. So that's why I don't mind it as much, because that's what I grew up with.
I get what you're saying, but I'm paying $180. I'm not paying $180 for an updated G1 toy. I'm paying $180 for an updated version of this character.
Yeah, but the character had kibble.
No, he did not. The original G1 toy. This is where we'll differ. You want toy accuracy here. I don't, which is very strange.
I mean, the from the tune. I mean, 8-Face had like broad shoulders and big back, from what I remember.
But they didn't stick out this far.
Well, I'm
just saying they could have figured out a way to collapse that stuff a little bit better, which would have made me in.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why I didn't buy them back in 2015 when these came out, and that's the main reason why I'm not buying them now.
I'm on the fence.
They do look really good, though. These new geckos are amazing.
I have a hand and a toe, like climbing the fence, but the price is gonna have to come down.
Whenever I hear you with a hand and a toe on something, you already halfway over. So we'll look forward to an unboxing soon. So very quickly, the last two things I have for you, we talked about quite in depth. And the first one is this original Beast Wars Optimus fourth party on the Perfect Effect body. So it looks great. I like it. I don't think Bobby does, even though this would go great in your Plague display that you're getting. Just saying, you might need a time-traveling Optimus Prime that got infected. It's only about $70. Just saying.
Did you get it?
No, I did not. I got something else this month versus these guys. So, and then another thing that's coming out, which I was thinking about getting, but I also didn't get, which is the Night Optimus Prime in the black version. Like I said, I got something else that you guys might see soon versus these guys. So I was actually given the choice. You could get these three figures or this one figure, and I picked the one. So
that teal looks really good. I'm not picking it up at all.
But
I like how
I don't. And with that, that's why I'm a little hesitant. Is it's a fourth party KO figure? Is it going to look like this? That's why I'm always hesitant for KO figures without reviews or whatever. Like I saw a review of the Gorilla Guy and it looked just perfectly fine. They said some things were wrong with it, but But this one, who knows if it's going to look like this?
I literally like that pose with the teal coming up from the sword, to his hands, to his arms, to his chest. It looks like that looks kind of cool, but
It
that's
does.
about all
It does.
that's about all I like on this figure.
Yeah, I like it. I do like it. I've always liked the Knight Optimus Prime design. I think that was probably my favorite Bayverse Optimus Prime, design-wise. So, but regardless, that's everything we have for you. So, like, comment, and share. Let us know what you're going to be picking up. We'd love to hear it. And we'll see you guys very, very soon.
Yeah, and as always, till all debates are won, looking forward to the next time we get together.